Welcome to Math Plus, where math makes sense. In this video, we are going to use the skill of finding like denominators in order to compare fractions. But first, let's take a look at comparing fractions with like denominators. Here we have 3/4 and 1/4. And down here are the models for those two fractions. You can see the 4, remember, names the total numbers in the whole. So both of them have 4 in the whole. So the top one, we have 3 of them shaded. So we 3 of 4 equal parts. And 1/4 is 1 of 4 equal parts. So it's very easy to see that 3/4 is greater than 1/4. So when the denominators are the same, you simply have to compare the numerators because you are comparing the same fraction type. Here's another example. Both of these models are rectangles divided into 6 equal parts. So that's the denominator for both of them is 6. The top one has 2 shaded, so it's 2 of 6 equal parts. The bottom one has 4, so it's 4 of 6 equal parts. And this is very easy to see that 2/6 is less than 4/6. Okay, but let's see what happens when the denominators are not the same. We have 1/6 and we have 1/4. So the first thing we're going to do is turn them into fractions with the same denominator, because once we do that, all we have to do is compare the numerators. So down here I have my multiplication strips for 4 and for 6, so we can find the least common multiple. Remember, we want to use the smallest one so it's easier. So let's see what we have. Right here is 12. So we know our new denominator is going to be 12. So off to the side here, I'm going to take 1/6, and I got to figure out what to multiply it by to get a new equivalent fraction with a denominator of 12. Well, I know that 6 times 2 is 12, so I have to multiply the numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So I know 1/6 is equivalent to 2/12. Now I'm going to take 1/4 over here, and I'm going to find me an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 12 for this one. In order to do that, I multiply 4 times 3 to get 12, so I have to multiply the numerator by the exact same amount. So 1 times 3 is 3. So now I know 3/4 is equivalent to 3/12. Now I have 2/12 and I have 3/12. Well, I know by comparing the numerators is less than 1/4. Now you might say, wait a minute, 6 is larger than 4. But remember, 4 is the total amount of parts in the whole. So if you divide something into 6 parts, it's going to be a lot smaller than if you only divide it into 4 parts. So it's a little tricky thinking about fractions, but the smaller the denominator, the larger the individual pieces are. Let's do another example. Here we have 3/7 and 2/3. Again, we want to find equivalent fractions that have the same denominator. And down here I have my multiples of 3 and my multiples of 7. And it looks like the common multiple is going to be 21. So I'm going to take 3/7 and I'm going to find an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 21. And over here I'm going to do the same thing with 2/3. Okay, so first I got to figure out what I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by. 7 times 3 is 21. So I multiply the numerator by 3, I get 9. So I know that 3/7 is the same as 9 over 21. Over here, 2/3, I multiply 3 times 7 to get 21. So I have to multiply the numerator by 7. 2 times 7 is 14. So 2/3 equals 14 over 21. And when I compare these, I just compare the numerators. I can say 3/7 is less than 2/3. I've got one more example. We have 3/8 and 3/4. Notice the numerators are the same, the denominators are different. So do you think you can figure that out mentally without even working it out? Remember what I said about the smaller the denominator, the larger the piece. Let's look at our multiples here and let's find that common multiple, and it looks like it's going to be 8. So 3/8 already has a denominator of 8, so I'm not going to have to change that one. I just need to change 3/4 and multiply it by something to get a denominator of 8. 4 times 2 is 8, so I have to multiply the numerator by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So I know that 3/4 equals 6 over 8. And by comparing my numerators, I know that 3/8 is less than 3/4. And remember, the greater the denominator, the smaller the piece. So would you have 3 small pieces or 3 bigger pieces? So use what you know about fractions, and sometimes you can solve problems without even working them out. But this is the way you compare fractions of unlike denominators by finding like denominators and then compare them.